Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Here I am in Bridport in Dorset, I think I am. And I'm at a record shop called Clocktower Records here, which has one of the rarest records in the world. It's a very rare copy of Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. Now unfortunately, he won't let me film it, but I have seen it and we've had a chat about it. So I'm going to show you inside the shop and then I'm going to talk about what I've seen and what I've heard about on this visit. So here we go. So that was Clocktower Records in Bridport, which is down on the south coast of England, in Dorset, near Devon. There you go, there's a little map. And Bridport is just here, just south of Bridgewater and east of Exeter. A really nice town, lots of nice places to eat and shop. I noticed walking through the town, there's lots of flyers for different musical events. So it is quite an artistic place. And Clocktower Records is the centre of that kind of artistic community, if you like. There's a little card for Clocktower Records with a little spaceship on. Roy, who runs Clocktower Records, says it's the, what did he call it? The most fun record shop in the world, he believes. And I certainly had a lot of fun there. It was great. Roy has lots of stories to tell about all the memorabilia and the records that he's acquired over the years, and some really unique items he's got in there. I don't want to tell you too much about them because I'd like you to go and check them out yourselves. But there's some really rare stuff in there. Unfortunately, not all of it is for sale. But anyway, everyone's got a price, I think. Everyone's got a price. All the Beatles memorabilia is in like a display case. That is, I showed on the video, and none of that is for sale, unfortunately. But there's loads of really rare, unique pieces from the 60s, some rare singles and things like that. By the counter, there's a display cabinet with some autographed bits and pieces in there, and Mark Bolan's signature, Small Faces and things like that, Eric Clapton. You should really go and have a look and check it out. And Roy, like I say, has some great stories to tell. So has possibly the rarest Pink Floyd vinyl in the world, which I'll tell you a little bit more about now, but I can't say too much about because Roy wants you to go and see it for yourself and go and visit, but you must kind of, it is upon request, I do believe. So the vinyl in there is very high quality. Loads of great stuff, loads of jazz, loads of rare 60s bits and pieces, some good reissues in there too, some psychedelia and blues and soul, some good selection of Beatles and stuff that's on the Apple label. I noticed the Radha Krishna Temple album. He has 2 copies of that in there if you're a collector of Beatles and Beatles related stuff. I've got the single here. There we go, look. There's the single from that album, the Govinda, the Radha Krishna Temple. I bought this quite a few years ago. There you go. So he has the album of that, which you don't see very often in shops. Pink Floyd album. The story is Pink Floyd had a listening party in 1973 for Dark Side of the Moon, which was then their latest album, and hardly anyone turned up. 300 people were invited, only 60 showed up, and everyone was rather disappointed with the sound quality for some reason, and everyone was more interested in eating and drinking, and only a few people took home the sample of the album. Only one member of the band turned up, which was Richard Wright, the keyboard player, and only one person kept their copy of the album, we believe, and that has somehow made its way to Roy, and it is possibly the first press of Dark Side of the Moon. Not the first press that was sold to the public either, like a test press. So the first ever one of those. It doesn't actually have the official cover. It's in like a silver cover, and it has like an invite attached to it as well, little card invite for the date and the time and the place and everything. And it really is a fascinating story, and you should really go down there and check it out. There is a little bit more about it on their website, clocktowerrecords.co.uk, and you can read a little bit more about it there. I wasn't allowed to take any photos or any video footage of it, unfortunately. He wants to keep it a bit more of a mystery. So if you do go there, upon request, ask to see the mythical pink triangle, or mythical pink pyramid, should I say, Pink Floyd album. That is kept in a safe and is stowed away somewhere secret. So it's not kept in the record shop either. So yeah, fascinating stuff and a fascinating story. Unfortunately, it wouldn't play it for me, so I didn't know what it sounded like. But I did get to look at it and see it. So yeah, fantastic stuff. So all in all, I had a great visit at Clocktower Records today. Looking forward to going back at some point in the year when I visit down south again. And I'm going to show you some of the albums that I purchased from Clocktower Records on this visit. First off, I want to say I'm not actually a massive Pink Floyd fan, to be honest. I don't mind Dark Side of the Moon. It's a fabulous album. It's great sound quality, and it really was groundbreaking at the time, and it's still a great listen now. But all in all, I'm not too fussed about Pink Floyd, but I do love the album Medal, which I have, and I thought I'd show you my copy of Medal. There we go. It's a reissue I bought a few years ago, and it's an album I do actually love, especially the B-side. I love the B-side, Echoes, which is a fantastic record, a fantastic song even. There we go, look, there's my reissue. Thought I'd just show you that as we go along. So what I got from Clocktower today was some Keith Jarrett albums. And the first one was this, it's called Backhand. It cost me £10, as you can see there. Oh, it's a bit bright. And it's in very, very good condition. If you don't know about Keith Jarrett, he's an American jazz pianist, also fuses kind of classical and bits of fusion and folk music, gospel and blues into his sound. This is from his 1970s period, early 1970s. It's on MCA Records. And it features his American band. He later employed European musicians, and particularly Jan Garabach on saxophone, and that was a different sound again. But this is an American period, and it's a great album. The A-side is a bit heavy going, to be honest. The B-side's a bit more of a softer listen. So if you're new to jazz or you want to explore jazz, I'm not sure this album would be a great introduction, to be honest. But for me, I've been listening to jazz for about 30, 40 years. It's perfect. I love it. The vinyl's in very, very good condition. I give it a bit of a clean, and it sounds wonderful. Now there's some Japanese literature on the card there. So I'm presuming it's a Japanese release on MCA Records. So there you go. I have no clue what it says. And the next one I bought is another Keith Jarrett album. It's probably his most famous record. This is the Koln Concert, which is a solo piano album. If you don't know the story about the Koln Concert with Keith Jarrett, you should really check it out. Basically, he was booked to play a concert at midnight. When he turned up, he hadn't got the right piano. They hadn't ordered the right piano. They hadn't got him any food. He was really tired. He was really fed up. And he didn't really want to play, but he went on stage anyway. There's 1,500 people waiting for him, and he performed for about 2 hours solo and improvised the whole night, which is absolutely incredible, making this one of the kind of greatest jazz albums of all time, I'd say. And this became the biggest selling solo piano album in history, and Keith Jarrett's biggest selling album, I believe. This cost me £6. And the reason is because the cover's a bit tatty, as you can see. It's a bit weathered and worn. Let me just show you the gatefold. But I've seen this, see, it's a little bit worn there, faded. But I've seen this album in good condition for about 40, sometimes £50. So £6 for this. And the vinyl, the A-side's a bit crackly, but I gave it a clean. And, you know, the other sides sound great. You know, it's got a few little kind of marks, but for £6, what do you expect? It's on the ECM label, famous European jazz label. Now, if you're new to jazz or you're interested in exploring some jazz, but you don't want to go in too heavy, I think this is a great album to start, along with kind of Blue by Miles Davis and things, and Time Out by Dave Brubeck are also good places to start for jazz. But I would also recommend this. Like it is a solo piano album, so bear in mind there's no other instrumentation on here. But it's a great album just to put on and kind of absorb slowly while you may be doing other things as well, you know, like a Sunday afternoon kind of vibe. The playing is mind-blowing. The level of creativity is beyond comparison, I believe. And Keith Jarrett's one of the greatest musicians ever lived, certainly the greatest pianist ever lived. So it's well worth checking out. So maybe have a listen on Spotify before you invest in a vinyl copy, or just take the plunge and buy it on vinyl somewhere. And the other thing is, with Clocktower Records, is on certain events they have there, they pull all the records out because all the racks are on casters. They pull everything out, put it into the storeroom at the back, and they have concerts on there. So yeah, it's really unusual kind of setup they've got there, really unique. So yeah, check it out. It's in Bridport, down there. It's called Clocktower Records, and they've got loads of good stuff to see, loads of good stuff to buy. So make your way down there. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.